Hi everyone. So it was requested that I do an updated foundation routine. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. It is pretty straightforward for the most part. I'm still using the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Concealer in shade N123 as my concealer. I'm using that on spots as well as under eye. And I'm also going to be using my new Mineral Fusion Cosmetics Foundation Powder. So what I've already done is like my under eye cream and my face moisturizer. And what I'm going to be taking is, this is the little kind of smudger brush that I got from Coastal Scents. And I wasn't really using that for like doing smudging underneath the eye or anything. And I couldn't find my concealer brush one day, so I just decided to start using this as my concealer brush. It is so tiny that it really does work in little spots. And I just use the product that's right here instead of pulling it all the way out. So I get that on the brush and then find whatever spots need concealing, pat it on with the brush, and then pat with my finger. And when I put the foundation on, it pretty much does the rest in the way of concealing. And then just do this wherever there's little spots, redness, blotchiness, etc. I have a few right now. Okay, so after concealing, there's not really any noticeable red spots. You know, they could still be concealed a little bit more, and that is why I use the powder. This is also a matte finish powder, so it's going to absorb a lot of the oils and stuff that usually would be present on my face, especially nearing the end of the day. It does a pretty good job at that. I still have to use like blotting papers if it's been a warmer day, because I do tend to have a lot more oiliness present at the end of a warm day. So I also use this concealer underneath my eyes and for the redness around my nose. So I'll just show you how I do my eyes first. Unfortunately, when you pull this out, there's like a big old glob. That's why I definitely can't use this for, not only for contaminating the product by like rubbing it on a blemish and then putting it back in, but there would be way too much product on here to, you know, dab on a little red spot. This is a trick that I learned from Juicy Tuesday, actually. It's using the MAC 188 like stippling brush, and I just kind of move this back and forth. And very carefully bring it up to right underneath the eye. Also incorporate some swirl motions just to blend it and make it look a little bit more natural. You don't want any streaks. There. So you can even see from the eye that's done, and then what's left over here, just like the darkness is pretty much gone. It's getting really windy outside. You can always tell because the windows start to shake. See, so that's definitely made a huge difference in opening up the eye area and getting rid of any under eye circles or darkness that I had. So I'll also take a little bit of this. Sorry, I had to use the funny voice. A little bit of this, and do the stippling motion with that as well, because I do have a lot of broken capillaries along the sides of my nose and also right underneath. So I'm using the Mineral Fusion Neutral 2, the pressed powder foundation, and I'm just going to use a big fluffy kabuki brush from, this is from Borghese. This was with a big holiday set that my mom got me. You can use either like a kabuki style brush, or the other thing that I use sometimes is the, what is it called? The powder brush from e.l.f. I really like that one too, and the company Mineral Fusion actually does have both of those brushes, but I don't have the brushes to be able to try. But they say for, I don't remember what they said, one of them is for more fuller coverage, and I assume that's the powder brush, because the powder brushes, they're one that's very similar to e.l.f. I can tell that the bristles are really compact, and then the kabuki obviously is more fluffy, so this makes sense that this would be for more sheer coverage, which is kind of what I use, which is why I use this, and then the powder brush would be for a more full coverage. So I just pat this in a few times, kind of buff it in, tap it off, and then just start swirling basically. I like how I only tapped it off the first time, then I don't tap it off anymore. I also do take a little bit more of this, tap it off so there's hardly any product on the brush, and I will bring this down into the jaw area and neck. This kabuki does shed quite a lot though, so that's kind of an issue. I was thinking about getting one from MAC, but I think they're really expensive, so if it's a matter of, you know, using this one, which I like, versus getting another one that doesn't shed, that it's going to be like $40–50, then I'll just stick with picking the little bristles off myself after I'm done. Yep. And sometimes I will have to go back with more concealer, because the powder has kind of lifted the concealer, but that also means that it's going to stay on a lot longer. Or at least that's what I find is when I layer concealer, foundation, concealer, that it does last a lot longer. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I'm not going to show you guys my brows. How I do my brows, because I'm thinking of doing a tutorial right now that is going to be very heavy brows. So this is supposed to be an everyday, you know what, I'm just going to do my everyday look, like my everyday springtime look, because that's something that I've been doing a lot recently and I haven't really shown in a video yet. So yeah, this was my foundation routine. This is what my skin looks like after I've done only my foundation. So go ahead and click on the other video that I'm going to post, or record rather, right now for my everyday springtime makeup look. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.